I don't use dark arts very well. I probably should try harder to learn. But I tend to generally just treat Dark Judas. I tend to normally just treat Dark Judas like somebody who's just got very basic stats. Any of you guys finished Midnight Mass this weekend? No spoilerinos? This is part of the reason I got to bed at 1 o'clock on Saturday night. Is because I insisted that Amber and I finished Midnight Mass before I went to sleep. Not a flawless story, but a terrific amuse-bouche to the Halloween season for sure. Fiance and I got through episode 3 last night. Holy shit! Yeah, Loft Thriller. I'll without any spoilers, because there's huge gaps in what I'm about to say. Without any spoilers, it's what, 7 episodes? It's a 7-episode run. I got to where you are, and did a pretty good job of kind of guessing a lot of what was. The story is very intentionally obtuse. It's meant to keep you guessing. It's meant to be very mysterious in the beginning. Up through episode 3, I feel like I did a pretty good job of knowing what the hell was going on, to a certain extent. I said a couple of things where I was like, I think blank, and I'd say that out loud, and Amber would go, holy shit, you might be right, pause it. And she would stop and do the math and do the homework in her head and go, yeah, I think you might have a point. I think that might be right. After episode 3, I maybe hit a couple of things towards the very, very end, but like, after episode 3, I was garbage at guessing what was going on. I'd say, oh, this is gonna happen. Nope. Ah, that was gonna happen. Nope. Damn, no bombs. There's a golden chest back here, but I don't think I can reach it. Reg, good morning, man. Mimi LaRue says, how are you feeling today? I'm okay. The illness feels past. I'm not like hacking my lungs out. I'm not like desperate for sleep. When I go to sleep now, I actually get to sleep and stay asleep. I'm not desperate for sleep the way I was for the entire week. I was exhausted. The entire week I was exhausted, and I just couldn't get my body to accept sleep. It was like this gift I had from my body. My body refused to take it because of the drainage, because of the sore throat, because of like the anxiety, fever dreams that I was having. I couldn't convince my body to accept the gift of sleep. That dude telefragged me with that. That dude literally threw that under my ass. So that was really frustrating. I finally started to get sleep about the same time that like my body was healing. I also started hitting myself with, you know, equal parts hot toddies and over-the-counter sleep meds. And at that point, I was knocking myself out hard enough to really get some rest. Now I feel better, but I also still feel like I'm very easily winded. Dragon, good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Dragon, did you see that I unlocked Cloak and Dagger this morning? On Marvel Strike Force? Psycon, thank you. I blame it all on this brand new McLaffy Taffy propaganda poster shirt. It looks very good. It's the first time I've ever owned this particular version of my shirt. I'd never had the new propaganda shirt. Yeah, I managed to make both of them happen. Now I just gotta, you know, break the bank trying to train both of them up. Been a dictator, what's going on? How did you get Maria Hill for that matter? Okay, so for Maria Hill, I'll be honest with you, let me shoot you straight on this one. I spent $100. In my defense, it was because the people who put me up to sell it to you gave me a $100 budget. So I basically just dropped. There's a thing you can spend power cores on now, if you've got it, There's a thing you can spend power cores on now, and you get like 50 Maria Hill shards. You get like 50 Maria Hill shards. Jesus. Shards and some other stuff. So like apparently now I could just straight up buy her for 40 bucks. But at the time I was trying to infuse the stream with like that same feeling that you get when you open shards on Raid Shadow Legends. Oh no. I was not looking, I was looking at chat. Oh no! Okay, well that part's done. I'll just get rid of that. I clearly would love more options. I haven't seen a whole lot of cash this run, and I don't really have the means to generate it. No lie, I blew through some cash in the last month. I bought with my own money, I bought the season pass. So I've been grinding the living shit out of that, and they give you those tokens to open their crates, to open their little drops or you know, chests or whatever, loot boxes. And I've just, all of the ones that I've earned over the course of the last couple of weeks, I've split evenly between the two characters. Yeah, Sharon Carter I'm probably gonna do for sure. I'll try to farm her out as well. Haha. I did laundry recently and realized that taffy merch makes up most of one of my shirt drawers. Yeah, me too. That's another thing we have in common. Taffy merchandise makes up at least a third of my biggest shirt drawer for sure. Beta Dictator, I think I said hello to you when you first came in, but just in case I didn't, greetings. Welcome back, friend. Yeah, I've been stockpiling. I have so many characters that are not optimally farmed. I have so many characters that are not optimally farmed because I've been saving money and basically deciding that, like, you know, I got Hobgoblin. Okay, woo, happy day, Hobgoblin. Or not Hobgoblin. I got Green Goblin. I got Green Goblin. No, it's a Hobgoblin. I don't know. I got one of the Sinister Six. I got one of the Sinister Six, and I've not buffed him up at all. I got I've got a couple of really good characters that are just sitting at their absolute most basic level, and it's 100% because I can't afford to level up every character that I have now. Yeah, Green Goblin. It's Green Goblin. Can't afford to level up every character that I have now, so I just level up the ones that I have active plans for.
Holy cow.
I don't know if that was a good idea. There's a part of me that I might, like, intentionally hurt myself to get inside that room. We'll see. We'll see what our deal with the devil is, I guess. They are, in fact, very soft and comfy shirts. I need to find, like, there used to be a lot of my friends who had DBH merch. I'm sure it'll just be that way when, like, Justin's stuff comes out. But a lot of my friends who had DBH, I feel like a lot of my friends don't spend as much time on merch, and I don't blame them because, like, when you're a 3-figure concurrent stream, you don't move enough merchandise to really make it be worth the effort. Even if you have a devoted community who really cares, the numbers don't line up because you're only making a couple dollars per shirt. So if you sell 20 shirts in a quarter, then it's the same as if it's the same as if gifts you 10 subs. I'll take flight for sure. And then we'll come back here and do all this. I haven't had a merch store since like 2016. Yeah, that's let's do it. I'm feeling ballsy. Yeah, like I feel like as a lot of us were hitting our stride back in 2017, 2018, a lot of people, like Bree was putting out merchandise, and Brizzy was putting out merchandise, and Deadpine was putting out merchandise, and I feel like a lot of people have either fallen off or I haven't heard much about it. You know what I mean? Because I remember I used to have like I had a Caliverse shirt that was one of my favorite shirts that I owned. I was bummed out when it finally had to be retired. guess that's a long-winded way of saying I need to find some friends who have merchandise to support them because I love DBH's product. Are you purposely not using dark arts? Yes. I am purposely not using dark arts very much. I have a tendency to not time it well. I feel like I get hit a lot when I feel, especially when there's like a pedestal in the middle of the room that I keep bumping into because it doesn't disappear once you pick it up. I feel like as often as it helps, I also screw up the timing on it a lot and lose a lot of health. So I generally, if I'm trying to play it, sorry. Generally, when I'm trying to play it safe, I try not to use it because I don't feel comfortable with it just yet. Wesley, good morning. Merch is supposed to be mostly passive after the initial investment. The problem is that unless it's talked about, the merch is forgotten.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
100% agree. There's a lot of diminishing returns on merchandise for sure. From Header to Footer, Prime Gaming, 22 months. Thank you so much from Header to Footer. Appreciate that. That's almost 2 years of support. Amazing. 2539, woo! Hello. Oh, I hate this. I should very much like to leave. This is why spectral tears are so good. This is why occasionally I'll lock myself into devil deals just to pick up Ouija board. As I say, is there seriously one more? Yeah, come over here. I'd really just like to find a shop. Man, if you mess this up for us. I was gonna say, if that guy hits me with an explosive, I am absolutely just done. I'd love to get starter deck, but I don't think 15 cents is gonna happen on this floor. I've been wrong before, though. Actually. Neat. I don't suppose you lads would like to step on the spikes in the middle of the room and speed this up a little, would you? Might I be able to talk you into mass suicide? Never had merch, never thought I could move it. Didn't feel as though it was worth my... Yep, that's what I was saying about anybody with viewership less than 4 figures per stream. Anybody under 4-figure concurrent viewership, merchandise is a tough sell. Because it does take a significant amount of investment, either in the time spent by an artist that, like... Oh, shit. I mean, like, actual, that shit was explosive and it was scary. I'm incredibly lucky. I used to pay for all my merchandise designs. But fortunately, I've just had such a good working relationship with DBH for such a long time. And the artist who draws our stuff, like Thermal draws some of our stuff now, but the artist from DBH who draws our stuff just loves drawing our mascot so much. And he loves the shirt design ideas that I bring to him so much. And we've got such a great working relationship with DBH that they don't charge me for the designs. I used to pay hundreds of dollars. I had to have designs that I thought were awesome. Because it used to be that I had the upfront investment of finding a designer, convincing them to work with me, and then paying them up front, and then trying to recoup my expenses off of a campaign with like DBH or Teespring. So I couldn't just crank out shitty ideas. Oh no! How did that? Oh, I guess one of the bullets hit me. I thought it was trying to claim that the creep got me. Which it shouldn't have been able to do because I can fly. I guess one of the bullets got me that it came at me so fast I didn't even see it. Yeah, I used to have to drop several hundred, anywhere from like $300 to $600 to get a good design done. And then after that, I had to make enough money to recoup my investment. I had to make enough money to recoup the amount that I paid the art designer. So if I was lucky, I would like spend $300 to $600. I'd sell $700 or $800 and an entire month's worth of work, really. Or at least several weeks of work would boil down to I fucking hate this. There we go. Several weeks of work would boil down to, if it went really well, it would be the same as I make the same amount of money off of a shirt launch that I would make off of like Champion dropping one big tip. So I can definitely see why smaller streamers don't do it. That's true, Vlad. He did invent the mascot. Oh. Yeah, Thermal, I mean, like, honestly, I think nowadays with sort of my established brand and my... Sorry, chat. My established brand and my reputation within the community and my reputation for paying well... paying on time and genuinely paying whatever people ask, almost within reason.
Explosive diarrhea.
I guess I could see, man, my throat all of a sudden. In the beginning, I think people were overcharging me because if they only got half out of me. Hi, I'm a new streamer. I'm gonna be a streamer on Twitch. I don't have very many viewers, but I need to sell shirts. I understand that you are busy right now working on a graphic for a major magazine that paid you $1,300, and that I found your work on Behance, and that you've been doing graphic design for video games and art publications. But I need to book you to make me a t-shirt for my clearly gonna be successful Twitch channel. So I feel like a lot of guys would hit me up with like sticker shock 3 or 4 times their going rate, expecting that it would drive me away. Or I'd say yes, pay half up front, flake out and be like, I need you to do this again, but I need you to ink it in human blood. And so if I lost my mind or just disappeared in the middle of the process, at the very least they'd get half up front, which is like more than what a normal small job would be for them. I never worked with schlubs. Even in my early days, I paid, you know, high-end graphic designers. Sorry. Because of my time with Pretzel and 99 Lives, I at least had a experience with booking graphic designers. Good graphic designers. I've never worked with a bad one. Even that Australian designer who kind of did me dirty, he was very talented. It's just that his work for me didn't show that, I don't think. And nowadays, wheels really coming off the wagon here. I'm scared to talk. Yeah, I don't know that you're undercharging, because I've had the entire gamut run on me where I've been charged everything from $400 to $600 for a design to nothing, and everything in between. Any whiskey left? About 1/3 of a bottle, but it was new when we started it. And yeah, people were throwing down sticker shock asshole taxes on me Just because they were like, dude, if this guy's not serious, I need to make sure that I make some money. But I genuinely, I know whose art I like, and I know who I want, and I don't. When it comes to like building stuff for the channel, I don't skimp. I can't skimp. I know what I want it to look like, and if I'm gonna turn it like, at the very least, I want Target, and I won't settle for Walmart. You know. At the very least, I want my channel to look like Target, and I could save some money, but then I'd be okay with my channel looking like Walmart. And I don't want my channel to look like Walmart. Or even worse, I want my channel to look like Target at the very least, and instead it looks like fucking Kmart. As an artist, got to take into account freelance art doesn't pay you every day of the week, and then you kind of haven't also realized that profit from it, so it's a commercial license, is expensive, but it's a luxury product. Yeah, that's how I feel. I was joking, I'm confident in my pricing and the market standards. I figured as much. Yeah, I don't want to set the bare minimum of quality for my channel at Target and then have it end up looking like a Marshalls or a Big Lots instead. Well, this room's fun. This is a room where it's definitely worth using dark arts to speed things up a little bit. Oh my. 2 parts guppy very fast. Oh, that's right though. I can't have red hearts. Oh, that might have been a minor oversight. I just cost myself a bunch of soliolis. I got them back though. You know what I mean? I have them. They're just in storage. The fact that I don't pay for t-shirt designs now blows my fucking mind. Because I absolutely would. I did with I can't see shit. Edmund, could you make this room darker and louder? I can't hear myself think, and I can still kind of see myself. Could be worse. It could be a Sears. What's a Sears? I should fix that Edmund week of release of Repentance. It was at this moment that Edmund's player base knew that would never be fixed. If we were looking like a Woolworths, though, at the very least, whenever we kick somebody out, we could say, "And stay out of the Woolworths." And that would bring me joy. You're a bad viewer. Taffy says you ain't bona fide. You ain't no Dapper Dan man. What's a Sears is exactly the response I was looking for. Taffy, what were you going for with the appearance of your channel? I was going for like a Target. Well, you hit more of like a JCPenney's. Well, I quit
This
streaming.
is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
How dare you make me look at chat when I very clearly have combat going on? You did that on purpose. I'll never forgive you. I'm just kidding. You gave me money. I instantly forgive you. You can stay in the Woolworths. You motherfucker, die. Got him. Jackspot gives a half year of subs to Wesley. Wesley, enjoy 6 months of emotes. Compliments of Jackspot. Jackspot, thank you so much. Dude, some off-market, like some flea markets are metal as fuck. Like, in all honesty, depending on what kind of flea market it is, like, I've seen some flea markets that are damn near, you know, damn near Thunderdome, and I'd kind of be okay with that. Taff, you ready to get Red Skull this month? I suppose so. I gotta start figuring out what I want my... I've been running with a top tier team that's basically just all my best heroes. It's not necessarily that I put any thought behind it. It's just that those are my best heroes. See, that's why I don't use dark arts very often. Oh no, fuck me. There we go. It's hard on. I'm sure the dark arts is easier on a controller. On keyboard though, it's hard because it's bound to Q. So that means I have to take my finger off the button W. I gotta take my finger off the W button. I don't need any more fake waifus in my life. Ugh. I need out of this fucking room. That experimental treatment really boned me, man. Ah! I'm good. Man, they're both speed. Dude, can you imagine this guy hits me and I die and don't get those hearts? I'd be so pissed. Dude, we could be here for a half an hour. There we go. Just checking to see how many different spots our second secret room could be. I think it's worth it. I really do need to like try to stock. Oh, we've already gotten it. Well, damn. I do need to kind of try to stockpile some health. Down we go. Damn, Aaron. Sorry you're having a rough go of it. Oh yeah, Parexis, have they made Marvel's Avengers? Was that Square Enix who fucked that up so bad? Have they done anything to make that better? When it launched, I can't remember whether or not they came to me and asked me to do anything for it when it launched. I can't remember if they asked me if I wanted to do an activation. It was just a bad PC port. I just remember people lighting that game on fire when it came out. And just feeling like I was very fortunate to have dodged a bullet on running an activation for the PC port. Every person I saw that I know that was paid to play it looked like they were having a miserable time, and every person who reviewed it that I know and like panned it in a big way. So I was feeling genuinely like I had dodged a bullet. I can't fucking see myself. It's so hard. You having fun with it? I'm glad. I'm not rooting against it. It's interesting to hear that it sounds like what might have been the issue with it was that the PC port was terrible. I just remember, like, I feel like the same thing happened with that last Batman Arkham game. Well, it was one of the last games that TB, was one of the last games. Motherfucker, why did he double back like that twice? That's one of the last games that TB, covered. And I remember the PC port on that being a gigantic bugged out mess. What? Don't understand. I was gonna say, I didn't move And generally, if you don't move, this guy's shot is right down the middle. Please move your text. Thank you. We're one guppy bit away again. I could use a guppy and a tears upgrade and we'll be all set. But 4 damage, 4 damage on depth 1 is kind of rough. Like, I understand the whole point of this character is I'm supposed to dark arts. I'm supposed to dark arts and then that makes me strong, but like my rate of fire is not great either. How close are we to having Taffy play Persona 5 Strikers in November? I don't know. If it's not finished yet, then it's not close. I would be... I mean, like, look at that list and tell me what's ahead of it. I've got, what, Demon Souls? Now that I have a... Oh my god. Now that I have a PlayStation 5, Demon Souls... What else is in there? I'm actually surprised I didn't get hit in any of that. I genuinely thought I was going to die in that room and have to formulate some sort of plan. Is Spider-Man Miles Morales funded? I didn't even know we were considering that game. Is Ratchet and Clank funded? I wasn't even sure we were considering that game. Batman Arkham Knight was fun on the PS4, although I found the car challenges annoying. That's generally what I remember hearing about Arkham Knight, was that it was a fun game on console, but the PC port was insultingly bad. Yeah, Demon Souls, Shovel Knight, Deliver Us to the Moon, Subnautica Below Zero, Dark Souls 3, and Sundered. Those I remember. Those I remember.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
Can't see a fucking thing, man. Leanne in Tier 1, 26 months. Leanne, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. I can't wait to play Below Zero. I played their first alpha build. You're never gonna believe this, chat, but I broke it. I went outside the map, was swimming around outside of the intended play area. But Taffy, you're always so respectful of what game devs want you to do. You always instinctively know exactly what they're asking of you, and you play everything according to their plan. I know. I don't know what it was about that game in particular, though. I couldn't help myself. I actually did find myself swimming outside of the intended play area, surrounded by like character models that were in the game but weren't in the game yet. So before most people, I managed to see some character models that I don't think were intended to be out in the world. No, the Rapid, I think that's funded. I think that was one of those days where we realized that we were very nearly done with what we had listed. And I was like, all right, well, what's next? And Subnautica Below Zero was like done in an afternoon. So yeah, for me to get to Strikers, that would have to be funded. And then I'd have to finish Demon Souls, Shovel Knight, Deliver Us the Moon, Subnautica Below Zero, Dark Souls 3, and Sundered before Thanksgiving. And while I will admit I'm pretty good at some video games, so tired of feeling underpowered. And while I admit I am pretty good at some video games, I don't know that I'll be able to clear out that list before Thanksgiving in time to start a funded Persona Strikers run. Oh, you little rat bastard. There we go. I'd love like unicorn horn. Just something so I could go run into stuff and try to create hearts. Do that. Honestly, let's take the one soul heart and call it good.
Hey, Taffy, man, what does it mean when there's like bits, but a lot of them?
I was hoping I'd get that pill, but instead of giving me the pill, it just let me nudge it out of the way to get down in the hole. Nom Nom Freshman with 1,500 bits for a Strikers run. Deliver Us to the Moon. Deliver Us to the Moon's like 6 hour long. Yeah, I don't think Deliver Us the Moon is the one I was concerned about, though. I think I was more concerned with like Subnautica Below Zero, Dark Souls 3. Ooh. Yeah. And Demon Souls. That said, again, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to put any undue stress on myself. But Bloodborne, we managed in a week, and Sekiro, we managed in a week. I genuinely think the Subnautica will take me more time than the Soulsborne games will. But I've been wrong before. Nom Nom Freshman, thank you so much for the 1,500 bits. I'll turn scare alerts back on for Resident Evil. Starting to get a little bit scared that this run's not gonna produce. I'm bummed out because it wasn't all that bad before we took that experimental treatment, hoping against hope that we'd potentially see Spun. It just felt too good to be true to have 2 guppy items and 2 syringes. That's okay, I guess. It'll allow us to at least finish the run. We're deep enough committed now that I at least want to see this one finished out. I wish I could find Skeleton Key. I feel like that would be the thing that would deliver us Guppy. Subnautica Below Zero is close to the same length as the first one. I'll say this. Subnautica took a very long time, but it took a very long time because I am terrified of deep water. That's the only reason the only reason Subnautica took as long as it did for me. I go back and watch that now and it makes me giggle because it took me so long to leave the training area. It took me so long to leave the kiddie pool because I was so scared. I mean, that was a horror game to me. It was a horror game to me before we got out of the shallows. Once we got out into the deep water, I was right and proper scared. But by the end, I actually felt kind of comfortable enough with like my ability to navigate the subs. And I mean, hell, we killed a Leviathan. We gave it the old rodeo ride. We hit it with that grapple hook and just drilled it to death. Yeah, too forgetful. There was so much anxiety in me. It took me so long because I refused to build a bioreactor. Well, I mean, spite is a powerful motivator. Once I was convinced that guy was never coming back, I absolutely built a bioreactor, and it was awesome.
This is the story of the newest denizen of the cave.
I'll never tell him, and I'll never have to, but he was absolutely right. The bioreactor was awesome. I just didn't want him to know that I'd given in. Sweets the Fox for 2 years. Sweets the Fox, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being here for such a long time. It's I mean, Subnautica is such a beautiful game. It's very scary. Where the fuck am I? What is this place? What? Oh no! I was looking at the map. Oh no! Stop, Taffy. Pay attention. Telepill strikes again, man. Hello? Yeah, I just, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a pilot, but it had to be the Air Force because I couldn't go into the Navy because I was just terrified of the ocean. When I saw the Leviathan, it was instantly a horror game for me. That fucker appeared right as I got comfortable with things. Yep, they do an excellent job with pacing that. They do an excellent job of pacing that where you go from, oh man, this is almost like being on like a snorkeling adventure. And yeah, there are things that want to do me harm, but there's nothing truly despicable out here that I can't handle. And then you go out there looking for parts at the back end of the crashed ship. And that first Leviathan rams itself down your throat, and you're just like, I am food out here. And this sucks. Yeah, we managed to kill a Reaper Leviathan. Or no, the Ghost Leviathan. We killed the Ghost Leviathan. Nice.
Not speed down.
All my pills are bad. Admittedly, I wasn't a huge fan of it, but I will say this, the closer you get to it, and I feel like this is probably true of most video game monsters, for the most part, the closer you get to it, the more you can sort of see the strings and seams, the more you can see the smoke and mirrors. And so there was definitely a part of me that, like, the day that we decided we were going to beat a Reaper Leviathan to death with a drill, I got a little less scared about it. Did you forget you can do dark arts? I had this conversation with somebody already before. Do you believe that I forgot I can dark arts? And also, have you been here for the entire run? Oh, you're talking about dark arts out of the fucking curse room. I apologize. You're absolutely right. I did. I absolutely did. Yep. 100% I did. That's on me. I thought you were asking me if I had forgotten I could use it, and I was like, fuck, you've been here. I had this conversation with people. No, I absolutely forgot I could dark arts out, and I apologize. I absolutely forgot I could dark arts out, and I apologize. That's on me. Big enough man to admit when I'm wrong. Also a big enough man to buy XXL shirts now. Stress Taffy is stressed. I'm not happy. This is a dogfight I'm not super interested in doing. It's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like even with like 300 or 400 items, I always felt like the item pool was compact enough that you knew at some point help was probably on the way if you just stayed alive for a long enough period of time. That might be true right now, but it's hard to feel that way in the middle of it. But I will say that I'm you know, I'm leery that the game's not going to deliver me from this mediocre run. That's got me stressed out. I might have enough keys to do that for a while. For a little while at least. I bet you I could do this. I can go back and forth between the two. Our shop was that a Ultra Greed? The nice thing is too, I know which ones not to open. I can confidently say, Aaron, that I do not get that Cable Guy reference. I won't be able to do this for too terribly long because I'm impatient. Who did this? That is a surefire way to spice up an otherwise very dull arcade. Varel drops a $100 tip and says, all this Subnautica talk makes me think that Journey to the Savage Planet definitely needs to be on the list. If one of my mods would be so kind as to make sure Journey to the Savage Planet is definitely on the list, I will be forever in your debt. Varel, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that incredibly generous tip. How come it didn't show up in chat? It was a cash tip through PayPal and not bits. Come on, Mom. I feel like I probably should have brought Degas with me. I've just realized I left it in the second secret room, so I just left the soul heart behind like a dumb shit does. We are going to Blue Baby though, which is cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Hard to not do that. Good fight, Mom. Really put in an A+ effort, even if it was a D+ result. Taffy won IRL money in the arcade. Agreed. Very pleasant. I feel like people would play this game more often if they won real money in the arcade. Edmund, I have an idea. What if the casinos in Isaac were actual little online casinos, and then you could take a cut as the house, and you could take all of your profits and put it towards 4 souls? Think about it. Think about it. It's like your Kickstarter never ends. You could put little advertisements up on the walls, like little posters, QR codes that lead people to the website. You could have a little screen back there where people show off their fresh tattoos and you don't even thank them for getting the art. Kick it around for a little bit, Ed. Let me know what you think.
The world.
Yeah, I totally forgot I could do that. What an asshole I am. Ugh, I'm sorry I'm still so snotty. That's right, tweet yourself with a tweet a picture of you using and holding your parents' credit card to buy credits for the in-game slot machine. And then fart on them and yell, money equals power. 69 coins is a massive damage upgrade. What if every time you got 69 coins, the game said, I'm excited? Two of hearts, you say? Probably should do this room because that's just bombs. Well, bombs are helpful. They're not that helpful though. He says using a bomb. During the pandemic too, that's the part that gets me. It's not that nobody has disposable income during the pandemic. You know, not to like incredibly weirdly flex, but it might be low key. Nope, not low key. Fuck. Not to weirdly flex, but I've made more money during the pandemic than I've made before the pandemic, which blows my mind a little bit. Especially when all those stimulus checks came through. Just people swore up, down, and sideways they were spending responsibly, even though they were spending on me. I made people vow to not throw away money they didn't have, but you know, I can't force financial responsibility on you guys, because if I did, it would basically be me ending my own channel. But all that being said, yeah, like, you know, flexing on your viewers during the pandemic to raise $6 million for the sequel to your card game feels weird. Creating this like monster FOMO. Neither one of these is all that helpful for me. To be fair, I spent mine paying off the last of a $4,000 loan I'd taken out. Perfect. Sounds exceptionally good. That's the kind of shit I want to hear, you know? Well, there's Guppy, which is good. And then there's Death's Touch, which is actually going to be a health up by a half a heart. And now we just, we hope for some soul hearts somewhere. Damn, Chaos, that sucks. You were like $1,000 over? So when we say eat the rich, we're basically talking about Chaos? Fucking around. $100 over. Oh my god, it's even worse than I had imagined. Chaos is Jeffrey Bezos. Oh, you were under. How are you under? How are you making too little money to need help? Make me understand. Wait, what? How do you make too little money to need help? Because America? That's fair. I kind of answered my own question.
Hey, man, those are bits.
It's the United States, where if you don't make quite enough money, they just write you off. James Franco meme moment there, Taffy. Make me understand. Noah drops 100 bits and says, good morning, Captain Taffy, dropping in with a hypothetical sponsorship question. If you were part of a stream team with an aggregate 40K Twitter followers, would you accept the team sponsorship wherein you promoted a barbecue chain in exchange for one all-you-can-eat meal a week? Is it good food? And also, are the other people on this stream team cool? Yeah, it's like, can you tell me which barbecue chain it is? I promise not to reveal it. You know, for better or for worse. If it's a bad barbecue chain, I'll say, oh, no, not for them. And then I'll just hide. I'll just never mention it again. But if it's a good barbecue chain, I'll be like, oh yeah, their stuff's pretty good. I would eat there. It depends entirely on who else is in this stream team and how good the barbecue is. Because I'll tell you, like, there's a barbecue chain called Dickie's that it's not going to blow your doors off if you live in a state that makes barbecue. But if you live in a state that doesn't make barbecue, it's wholly serviceable. And I used to go there a bunch just because they had fried okra on demand. Whenever I wanted fried okra but I didn't want to make it, I'd go there and buy like the half-gallon bucket. And it was good. It was good and it was fast fried okra. I don't know where else you're gonna get fried okra on demand. It bums me out that the one that is reasonably close to me closed. Holy shit, those are big sides. Dudes spanking dudes. How you enjoying Resident Evil 8? It says, did I like Lady D? I loved that section. I think, much like many other people, I was disappointed it was over as fast as it was because they obviously marketed it. I thought that the Lady Dimitrescu family was going to end up being like the Baker family from Resident Evil 7. I was pretty disappointed how quickly it was over. That said, I'm still enjoying it. I'm just having to alter my expectations for what it's ending up to be. Some barbecue place opened near me in Florida. I researched before going in. It was insane stuff, so I avoided it. Then I moved here, and it was one of the first places I saw. Yeah, Mission Barbecue's a chain. I don't think I've ever eaten there. Who are these people? What's going on here? Ah, yeah. Cool. Huh. I don't think I've ever eaten there. Like, genuinely. I've never, I know of it, I've heard of it. I have never eaten there. That's kind of interesting. What's funny is that, like, so the you can read this on stream, Taffy's, no worry. Okay. The Wisconsin, Virginia Tech, and Notre Dame offensive lines have all accepted name, image, likeness sponsorships with Mission Barbecue, where they promote Mission Barbecue all season on socials in exchange for one all-you-can-eat meal a week, scheduled by Mission, so if you miss it, you miss it. These O-lines have between 40K and 120K aggregate followers on Twitter and national weekly coverage. I've never had Mission. It's bizarre and a little predatory. I'd be doing all that for one free barbecue meal a week. Would it just be me, or could I take my entire family and just eat until I'm sick? It's a hyper-patriotic barbecue place? I don't know about that. Listen, we're like, let's be honest, we're not gonna do this. Yeah, let's be honest, we're not gonna do this. But I will say this, it's kind of, like, to me, it's kind of funny. To me, it's kind of funny because I used to be an offensive lineman in high school. So there's still a part of me that identifies with, like, a whole bunch of fat linemen. This place stops at noon to pledge the allegiance to the flag. Yeah, no, we're passing. Hard no. Hard no. Yeah, that's it's one thing to be like, I can't, there's a lot of shit wrong with my country, but I like this country very much, enough so that I would like to fix the things that are wrong with this country. But that hyper-patriotic, jingoistic bullshit, I just can't, hyper-nationalism, I can't get behind it anymore. I could when I was a kid, but I also believed in Sky Daddy when I was a kid. And nowadays, I'm just kind of like, I don't claim to know what happens after you die, but I also don't think anybody else knows either. Yeah, that's too intense for me. Yeah, that's it. You want to be patriotic? Protest, vote, pay your taxes. Help your fellow American when they're down. The point in time when, like, whether you like them or not, help your fellow American when they're down. So my mom has been having like a moralistic awakening over the last 5 years, where she admittedly voted for Trump the second time around, or the first time around, but couldn't vote for him the second time around because she just was uncomfortable with what she was seeing. Thankfully, she let it affect her conscience and didn't just kind of toe the party line. Hey, we got spun as well. Sure. Let's see where it takes us. I like my mother very much. Like, I love her, but I like my mother very much for the exact reason, which is, like, she doesn't really like or agree with a lot of what AOC says. But the moment that the ice storm hit Texas and Ted Cruz hopped on a plane to go to Cancun and AOC went to Texas to see how she could help. My mom was just like, you know, she was like, I don't agree with a lot of what AOC says.
Hey man, those are bits.
She was like, but if I got to vote she's like, if I got to vote today to get rid of one or the other from Congress, she's like, Ted Cruz's ass could stay in Mexico and AOC could stick around. And I was like, yep. Yeah, is that help your fellow human being, obviously, but I mean, like, my big thing is, you know, I wish and want America to help on a global scale when it can. Like, I want us to help the rest of the world get vaccinated. But goddamned if we don't have so many problems on a local scale that there's a part of me that's just like, focus on the shit that's happening right in our backyard first, and then kind of escalate, open our cone of focus out when we need to. The last thing I need is America trying to play both world police and moral compass for the entire globe when we've got so many issues at home. Sorry, I'm so snotty still. 100 bits from Noah. Wait, I thought being patriotic was about burning masks and hating people who don't look like me and taking horse dewormer. Human thumb. Tucker Carlson told me it was safer and more effective than a vaccine. I feel bad for, like, I feel bad for people like my mom who, you know, believe some things that I don't believe, but it's her right to believe them. But genuinely kind of falls back in line when it comes time to, like, we gotta help people. We gotta try to be good. We can have policy differences, but she's like she's a fiscal and moral conservative. She's like, she's right, but she's not like far right or alt-right, you know? She's like right of center. And I feel bad because right now she doesn't have a political party. She doesn't have a political party that she feels like represents her because she's not like a batshit crazy MAGA hatter. But she's also like, she also just isn't, she's not a socialist, she's not a progressive, she's not even, like she's, you know, she's a centrist. And she's got no place to call home anymore because Trump stole her political party, so she voted Biden this last election. And it's just basically like, I'll just be dead soon. Like, that's kind of her take. It's just like, fuck it, I'll just not be invested, I'll die soon anyway. Like, that's just her out, where she's just like, fuck it, I'll just die. Let's see. Reaper Sword says, I have any coworker who blames any high price on Biden and the current presidency. That's the part that sucks, is that, like, you know, every once in a blue moon that, you know, probably through no fault of his own, the Trump presidency would do something where I'd be like, that was not bad. I wish this guy wasn't so reprehensible so that I could give credit where it's due. That thing that they just did was not bad. But I would say that, and now there's no way, like, you know, if you wake up and you've got a Charlie horse, and you're, if you wake up and you've got a Charlie horse, and you're you know, I don't even want to say a Republican, like a Trumper these days. Oh, Joe Biden did something, put something in my water that gave me that leg cramp, this motherfucker. My dad voted for Biden after I told him I wanted him to vote for him and all the shitty laws that Trump passed for trans people. I'm trans, so my dad voted for Biden to please me. That's very, yeah, that's fucking great. That's, I've had a lot of conversations with my mom because I grew up in a Baptist church setting where it was, they say in churches in America, hate the sin, not the sinner. But that's basically, I feel like that's themselves letting themselves off the hook for like, I'm gonna treat this person like I hate them. And then when they say, why do you hate me and why do you want my life to be difficult? They can say, oh, well, I don't hate you. I'm not voting for legislation to make you sad, but I am voting for legislation that makes your life harder because of the sin you engage in. And I feel like she used to kind of hide behind that shield to let herself off the hook on a lot of things. But over the years I've been working on her. I mean, like, I had to work on myself first, but going into theater, I spent a lot of time around the homosexual community. And it broke down a lot of fucking crazy stereotypes that I had living in me from years of, like, Texas Baptist church. And that made me, like, that in particular made me go, well, what else could I have possibly been wrong, like, wrongly convinced about? And I just kind of found myself LGBTQ, civil rights, foreign policy. I just, like, all of it. I just look at it and go, shit. I have to really deep dive all this stuff now, because if one thing can be wrong, then all of it can be wrong. Yeah, Beryl says, the problem was most of the parties I'm most closely aligned with are libertarians, but Jesus, are their candidates terrible? But I do, like I said, I feel good because I feel like over time, old Mrs. Caps has opened up her heart and her mind to truly hearing the other side of things, and has walked back some stuff that I didn't like in years past. And you know, and to be reciprocal in that, I try to be open to her end as well. Yeah, Reaper Sword and Dubbat both say, you know, we hear like, oh, Joe Biden's a socialist, and like, fuck, man, I wish Joe Biden would be like a hardline conservative in most other countries. I'm definitely gonna take a crack at Delirium, because why the hell not? I might as well. If I'm gonna do that, I might as well see what this guy has to pay out with. I'll end up getting this money back, I'm sure, at some point. When the gas prices plummeted because of COVID and Trump, people were saying you did good work because the gas prices went down. Yeah, the global economy's tanking. entire supply chains are shutting down. Oh, Donald Trump, before he went to sleep last night, he thought about us, and then he dreamed about us and making our lives better, and because he dreamed it, thusly it became so. I mean, you know, that said, these are the same people who think the entire world is faking a pandemic to influence American politics, so that's the baseline of what you're dealing with, you know? Justin, have a good one, brother. I hope your day at the gym is productive and safe. I'm toying with whether or not I want to do this floor again, but I wouldn't have any guarantee that Delirium would show up a second time. Beholder Trump. Yeah, the U.S. political climate is shifty. Sometimes they actually do something great, and it's hard to be happy about it. It's hard to find anything to celebrate because it's just there's little cooperation anymore. It's just kind of like when you're not in power, you obstruct, and when something goes wrong, you just make sure to, as aggressively as humanly possible, blame the other side. It's like, okay, well, our guy got voted out. Well, we got 4 years of just being a big wall to everything, so that we can create, you know, if our guys lose, then we just have to create an obstructionist wall and make the country as shitty as we can, so that in 4 years people feel obliged to try something else. That I don't remember who I was talking to, but I remember mentioning the other day, the part that really bums me out the worst is that it is common practice now to just kind of like try to make the world and country shitty if you're not in the majority of seats of power, so that's like if you're not running America, then you need to poison America so that you can get back into power. That part bums me out. That's what it is now. It's like create gridlock and actively hurt people so that you can blame it on your opponent and then regain control. Glitch says the funniest shit is that my conservative military cop father is all for legalizing weed and repairing the social nets. My weed smoking hippie mom is now all vaccines are bad, and I hate that. Yeah, that sucks. Everything in my world fell according to the lines I anticipated. My dad My mom has my dad by one belt loop, which apparently has kept him from falling down the QAnon rabbit hole. And when push came to shove and my mom realized that the guy who was in power was literally willing to let her die in order to get reelected, she realized that she may have voted for a stinker. I'm just here to note that I've never successfully lurked on a Taffy stream before because I enjoy chatting. I'm really, really glad because I need to work. This said, I was never here. Pogman, good morning, Taffy in chat. Happy Monday. Also, Taff, the GPU is shipped. Should be there later this week. Send you the deets on Discord. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Chat, Pogman was the hero who saw I was having tech issues with Resident Evil Village and just goes, hey, dude, do you need a 3080? And I was like, I didn't think I did, but I guess I'm due for an upgrade. This GPU that Glitch bought me very generously several years ago is now apparently several years old and feeling itself. Not in a good way, but like, is apparently showing its age. So yeah, Pogman is shipping me a 3080 at cost. No sooner did I have tech issues that a 3080 hit the mail for my computer in less than a weekend. Yeah, Mellow Muffin, I agree. Saying that politicians have no reason to care about what happens to us. Because they're basically just owned by corporations and lobbyists anyway. Can you elaborate about the last part with Trump and your mother? Okay, yeah, Mirrored. So, 2016, Americans have to choose between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. In the beginning, it was widely sort of seen as being like a joke that Donald Trump was running for president. It would be like if Joey Buttafuoco or fucking Kirk Cameron ran for president. You know what I mean? Like the people were like, this is really, it was really funny to most people because this like former like he used to be like an incredible he was a New York, an elitist New York real estate tycoon. And so not only was he rich, but I'm pretty sure for the overwhelming majority of his life he identified as being, if not Democrat, then like that would be the party he most actively fell under. And so, you know, conservatives had been out of power for so long because Obama got 8 years and had felt so like genuinely, I believe that they felt like they were like talked down to, right? Like you had Hillary Clinton come out and call them deplorables, adorable deplorables. And so they, you know, the Democrats marched out this lackluster candidate that nobody was excited about. And so conservatives who had gotten tired of having like 10 years of just being talked down to, whether you like it or not, I mean, like, tell me I'm wrong. So they rallied hard, and we're just like, fuck it. We don't care if this guy's a joke. Blow up the system. Let the reality TV star, internet tycoon run things. And so my mom, along with all these other people, started doing the mental gymnastics for, well, we gotta start trying to convince myself why the lifelong politician is not the better choice than the reality TV star narcissist. Oh shit, I completely forgot there was another phase to this fight. I was just fucking standing here. Being confused as to why the door had no. I'm not watching Isaac at all right now. So my mom did all the mental gymnastics to vote for him, and I even heard her like spit out the there was like these bumper sticker things that were going on, like but her emails. My mom would called her Killery. They were talking about, oh yeah, she got American soldiers killed. She got like she got American soldiers killed in Benghazi, this embassy raid. So they were calling her Killery and all that kind of stuff. Like it was very juvenile, sort of like high school class president elections type stuff. And so they did all these like mental gymnastics to justify why this like narcissistic nightmare of a human was better than the alternative. And she and I spent years arguing about that because I called her when it happened. I was just like, do you realize what you've done? I was like, do you realize what we're in store for if something goes truly wrong? And she asked me for an apology for that for like 3 years. She was like, you've never apologized for calling drunk to yell at me on election night. And I was like, technically, it was the morning after. I drank through the night. Yeah, former WWE owner, failed, you know, professional philanderer, you know, failed casino owner. Generally accepted as being a New York elitist. Oh no, I really thought that I would not find him yet. Oh well, I think we're gonna be okay. Ooh, I think we're gonna be okay. If not, I guess I got a couple more lives. I got a couple more lives to spend figuring it out. So anyway, it seemed pretty, like, to me, of course, it seemed pretty clear. Whoops. It seemed pretty clear to me that, like, he would be the nightmare that he was. He actually ended up, in my opinion, being worse than what I daydreamed he would be. I thought he would try to start a huge war, and he did. He fucking hit that Iranian general with a fucking missile. Oh, you know what? We can get out, and we can just go do we can do all the rest of the boss fights now, because we know that they're not, we know they're not delirium. Soleimani. He hit Soleimani with that fucking Scud missile, basically. Patriot missile, drone strike, whatever. I was concerned he would start a war, especially if it looked like he wasn't gonna get reelected. And then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, that was when my mom realized that this man that she voted for and did all these gymnastics to support mentally, literally was willing to let her die and let my dad die if it meant getting reelected. He did start a war. It was a civil war. All right, hold on. I'm all the way back at Mirrored asking this question because I'm trying to continue to play the game. So let me see what I can do about beating this run, and then I'll catch up on chat. The last thing I read was what Mirrored wrote, so I am clearly behind. I'd love to take a charge in there if I can. We have Spun and Guppy, and the Skatole transformation, the Fly transformation. Beelzebub. I don't need a speed upgrade. Not enough to risk accidentally walking into a spike rock. That's not right either. Damn. Hi, baby. I love you. I'm juggling like 2 conversations. Okay. You know what? I'm actually gonna do this for the potential health. And then while this is happening, okay, I guess I'll get right back into it, is what I meant to say. I'm not gonna miss a beat. Alright, so yeah, so no, the last thing I read was Mirrored's question asking me that. So anyway, long story short is once COVID hit, that was when our almost nightly conversations, my mom was just like, I think this man would let me die to get reelected, and I was like, I concur. And that was the point she was like, I don't think I can support this fucking guy again. And I was like, I concur twice. Keep going. Tell me more about what you feel. I was like a therapist and a Baptist preacher rolled into one. I got my first amen out of her, and I was like, tell me more. Damn, I didn't mean to hit that in here. Oh well. You know what? We're gonna do number 2. And get the oh crap transformation, I suppose. And take on whatever fight this is. The horseman, you say? Ooh, it's Little Horn or it's Hearts? Little Horn, come on. Let's go big. Let's devastate. You can cry all you want, Isaac. Doesn't change the fact I'm gonna beat that ass. It's very loud. I'll be with you in a minute, everybody. Literally everyone. You guys are all just gonna have to wait for a second. I find myself momentarily predisposed. Ow. I genuinely think number 2 is the right pick up there. Oh, I thought I got through there. So angry.
Someday, Bumbo, lucky Bumbo, someday the Bumbo is a bad Bumbo. Eat your corn.